Welcome to lesson number 10, mixed numbers and improper fractions. So a mixed number is mixing two things together. I'm mixing a whole number with a fraction. That's why it's mixed. So my whole number is obviously the orange, 8. The numerator is the green, and the denominator is 3. All three of these things that we know separately. Together, they're a mixed number. Okay? Now, an improper fraction is when the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. So basically, if the fraction gives me 1 or more, 3/3 is the same thing as 1. Because if I cut a pizza up into 3 pieces and I eat one, or I eat all 3, I have eaten the entire pizza. Or my numerator 7 is greater than the denominator 3. So now what I've got to figure out is, how do I get from one to another? So how do I get from an improper fraction to a mixed number? I divide. We have been practicing for this ever since we started division. So I set it up just like a normal division problem. 7 divided by 3, 7 divided by 3. And I divide. Hey, that's just like a division problem. So really, you already know how to do that. It's just making sure you put things in the right places. Now, what you have to be aware of is 7/3 is greater than 1. So make sure that the correct numbers get put in the correct places. Okay, so here, 14 divided by 6. 14 divided by 6. So I divide, and then I subtract, and I'm left with this. Now, when I'm doing this, don't simplify. Okay, just leave it alone, just like this, so that way when you rewrite it, everything's good. Now, if it asks you to simplify, simplify. But I'm happy with just the 2/6 right here, okay? I'm happy with just that 2/6 being right here. 2 and 2/6 is my answer. So go ahead and give the video a pause, and I want you to try to make 31/5 and 34ths into into mixed numbers. So here are my answers. I have 6 and 1/5 for 31/5, and then for 34ths I have 7 and 2/4. Again, I'm not going to simplify. I'm just going to leave it alone, okay? Unless of course I'm directed to simplify the fraction. But for this, I'm just going to keep them the same. Now, making a making a mixed number into an improper fraction. Okay, now Miss Reed, who teaches at Eagle now, did this fun little loop-de-loop thing, right, like this. Okay, and she would put a multiplication sign, and then she would put a plus sign. So that tells me if I follow the arrow around, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. 5 over 2. So basically what this looks like is this. So if I shade this in, shade that in, how many halves are shaded in? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halves are shaded in. That's where the numerator comes from. My denominator, well, how many pieces is each one split into? Each pizza is split into 2 pieces. Okay, now remember, parts of one whole, not parts of them all together. So this is split into 2 pieces. Okay, so 2/5. Again, I'm going to wrap it around. Multiplication, addition. 5 times 9 is 45. 45 plus 7 gives me 52. Okay, ninths. Now, here is the equation that would go with it. So I take my whole number times my denominator plus the numerator. 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5. 5 times 9 is 45. Plus 2 more, or plus 7 more, is 52. And then my denominator stays the same, because again, I have it in the same amount of pieces. So go ahead, give the video a pause, try these two, and let's see how you did. 4 times 11 is 44, plus 7 more is 51. 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, sorry, my denominator stays the same, 11. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 more is 23. My denominator stays 4. So those are my two answers, 51/11ths and 23/4ths. So let's take a look. Writing a mixed number and an improper fraction for the shaded region. Okay, so each circle counts as one whole. So what I did, I've got pizzas here. Okay, I've cut them into split them up into 4 pieces. How many entire pizzas are shaded blue? 1, 2, 3. So my whole number is 3. What's my fraction here? 3/4. So my mixed number is 3 3/4. Now, if we look at it, my improper fraction, there are 4 pieces here, 4 pieces here, 4 pieces here, and 3 pieces here. How many is that all together? Well, if you added, you should have came up with 15. How many pieces is each one split into? 4. So I've got 15/4. So if I do a quick check, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. My denominator is 15. Hey, they match. I'm good to go. How many pieces do I have here? I'm going to do my improper fraction first. I've got 3 pieces here, 3 pieces here, and 2 pieces here. So that's 8 pieces altogether, with each circle being split into 3 pieces. Then I also have 1 whole, 2 whole, and 2/3 of this one. So my mixed number is 2 2/3. All right, so here's what we're doing at school. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.